Hi, it's Gary. Welcome to today's video. First Impressions Day. My first impressions of this. This is a Jinhao 82. This was a gift that I received from my wife during December's Inkvent video series. Been waiting patiently to do my first impressions of this. It's a really inexpensive pen. Join me now down on the table. We'll take a look at the pen. We'll do some size comparisons. We'll ink it up. We'll do a writing sample. Then I'll give you my first impressions, my thoughts on this pen. Here we are down on the table. Here we've got that Jinhao 82. This is how it arrives. It comes in this cellophane little wrapper, so I'll just take that off. That now goes in the bin. This gives us this transparent Jinhao 82. I love this transparent nature. I like demonstrator pens, so this is going to be quite nice. Let's start by taking a walk through the body. So we'll start at the top. We've got a fairly flat feeling top. Might be a little bit of a dome on there. Hard to tell, but it seems fairly flat. Then we come down a little bit of this plastic. Then we're down to this plastic clip. The clip, fairly stiff. I don't use them, so it doesn't really bother me. The main thing I like from a clip is a roll stop, isn't it? The cap seems to taper out a little bit, maybe till about a third of the way down. Then it seems to go to be the same width, and you can feel the transition about here. That coincides with what looks like to be a liner within the cap. So if that is a liner, that'll help with stopping the nib from drying out. We'll then come on down. At the bottom, we've got this gold coloured ring. On there, we've got Jinhao. And going round. Have we got anything else? No, we go back to Jinhao. So there's no marking on there. I would have liked to have seen an 82, but it doesn't really matter. The cap then has a little bit of a taper, got a little bit more plastic. Then there's a drop off down to the body. Body seems like it's the same width. Maybe when we get 3/4 of the way down, I can feel it now starting to taper in a bit. Got another gold coloured plastic ring. Then we've got a flat end section. The cap itself, half, 1, 1.5, 2 turns to come off. Just going to put this back on. The clip is slightly off alignment there with the nib. I wonder if I can then maybe unscrew this later and then turn that. That's something for me to look at. But I would have liked to have seen that in alignment. But when you consider the cost of the pen, not going to quibble. The section, transparent section, I say the whole pen transparent. I love seeing transparent sections, especially if you've got a nice coloured ink and you can see it going through there. I think that always looks nice. Then that reveals this fairly small Jinhao nib. So here we've got, on the outside at the top, we've got that goldy colour. Then we've got a little decorative border, the breather hole. Below that, the Jinhao logo, the word Jinhao, and then M. This is a medium nib. Body unscrews. Here we've got the included converter. Now I've already cleaned this pen out. Before I fill any pen, I like to make sure it gets a good clean out so it flushes any ink that may be in there. And this one did have traces of blue ink in it, so it looks like it may have been tested at the factory, which I think is a good thing to see. Let's just pop that on. We'll swap on over and we'll look at some size comparisons. Brought in my 2 standards. These are the pens I use in every video where I'm doing size comparisons. So you've got the Pilot Metropolitan, the Lamy Safari. I've picked these 2 pens because most people either have them or have seen them, so they've got a rough idea how long they are. That Jinhao 82, a lot shorter, heading towards the pocket pen type size. Maybe not quite a pocket pen, but definitely getting down there. Does remind me a lot of my Sailor Pro Gear Slim. And at some time in the future, I will do a comparison between the Jinhao 82 and the Sailor Pro Gear Slim, even though they are, to be honest, 2 extreme ends of the price spectrum. Let's take the caps off. With the caps off, still a big difference. I'm going to quickly post this. What I can actually see is I'm using this posted rather than unposted because of the size. Although the width doesn't look too bad. In the hand, unposted, it does feel small. I say very similar, reminds me of the Sailor Pro Gear Slim, but posted, yeah, that's not too bad. Does feel a little bit back heavy, but that's because I'm used to using pens unposted. So that's something for me to get used to. Let's clear this off and then we'll fill the pen with ink. So today's ink, it's a sample that I've got of TWSBI Red. There we go. To make it easier to fill, I'm going to use my ink miser, fetch my little wooden block just to help stop that rolling all over the place. So in goes the ink. I've been trying to use up ink samples for a while, so hopefully we're getting near the end of them. Here's a pen. I've already made sure that converter is down near the bottom. Just going to try and angle it a bit so you can hopefully see. Now I've got to get my fingers right, otherwise I'll block the view. So twisting up. Oh, isn't that sucking that ink in really nicely? There we go. Wow, that looks nearly full there. Really good fill. Let me just clean off this nib, get this out of the way, then we can do our writing sample. Just dropping in to interrupt your regular programming. Would you like to help support the channel? If so, please consider joining as a member. As a member, you'll get early access to my videos. I normally upload them a couple of days before they go out, and as soon as they're uploaded, they'll be released to members. There'll also be a shout out at the end of the videos, and then as we get the members coming in, we'll actually chat among ourselves and work out what other perks, what other things you'd like me to add in. You know, would you like maybe a monthly live chat just for members? All down to us. So please, if you can, consider joining the channel. A link will be in the description down below. Here's the notepad of testing, my standard paper, Oxford Optic paper in a black and red A5 notebook. For full picture, the temperature at the moment, 25 Celsius with humidity of 48%. Let's fetch the pen in. So there's the pen with that gorgeous ink. Time to do some writing. So I'm going to post it. So we've got here a Jinhao 82. It says it's a medium nib. Not sure, I'll have to compare it, but to me it looks a bit on the narrow side for a medium. Maybe more like a Japanese type medium size. Price wise, can't beat for value. 6 Aussie dollars. Really good value. The ink, as we saw, was TWSBI Red. Drying times, so we go immediate. 10 seconds. 30 seconds. Getting close to being dry there. 1 minute. After the minute, still a teeny bit of a smudge, but not enough to do a 2-minute test. Line variation. So again, let me post this. Here's no pressure. I'm going to add a bit of pressure. Nib does feel quite stiff, not seeing much difference. So none with, none with, none with. Let's say with the pressure you can see something, but not a lot. And to be honest, it's so easy to damage a nib. It's not worth putting too much pressure on. Let's move the mic down to the page and write a sentence. Yeah, not too bad. I say it feels very stiff. There's some nice audible feedback. You know, you really hear it writing, but I'm not getting a lot of tactileness other than the stiffness of the nib. Final test, my scribble. Then backwards. Yeah, that flow keeps up really nicely. So what are my thoughts for this pen? For $6, what more can I say? This is an awesome value pen for $6. It does what I want. It lets me write, lets me get ideas out of my head, get them onto paper. Need to do longer term testing, obviously, to see how it flows, how it handles being left for a few days without being used, how the ink flow goes when I'm doing longer writing sessions, but so far seems nice. The pen is small. I think it's that Pro Gear slim size. Posted though, it's quite usable, really nice. Section doesn't feel too bad, doesn't feel too thin to me. It'd be interesting when I do my longer term reviews, when I start measuring the section width, how it goes. The section, it's not concave, it seems like it does taper down ever so slightly, but yeah, it seems very, very comfortable with a little teeny tiny lip. I'm a bit concerned that lip might dig into my fingers over time when I'm writing. Just need again to try it out. With it being transparent, I wish that the fittings had been plastic as well. I know they'll easily damage if they are, but if they'd have been plastic and you could have eyedroppered it, I think that would have looked really nice to have the ink sloshing around in the barrel. As it is, you can see the ink in the converter. Can't see it sloshing because it's got such a big fill, but as I start writing this down, hopefully we'll see that ink flowing around. I do think that looks really nice. I know it's one of the little fidget toys that I use when I'm getting bored, when I'm sat at my desk by myself and I'm thinking. I like to look at some demonstrator pens, just look at the ink as I'm doing this. It looks really nice. Fairly light pen, again, expect that. You know, it is what it is. It's a plastic pen. It's $6, $6 Aussie dollars. How can you go wrong with the $6 Aussie dollars for a pen? So yeah, I'm really pleased with this. I'm actually looking forward to using this more. Not sure if I'll get into one of my monthly rotations for a while, but I'll still use it outside of that rotation to experiment with it and get to know it better. So they're my first thoughts on the Jinhao 82 with TWSBI Red. So what are your thoughts on the Jinhao 82? Have you got one? What colour have you got it? I love the fact there's loads of different colours, and I do have another couple which will be coming up later in the year in some different colours. Please drop your comments down below. Love to get your ideas. Please hit the thumbs up button. Every time you like, every time you comment, just helps with the YouTube algorithm. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel so that you can get new videos as I release them. I'll talk to you again soon.